called Tore Sang Kaise Jaun Sajni. It revolves around composition and then it talks also about music and women, of course. Growing up and learning music, I never thought about the compositions, the context of this music I was learning, the life that it built around while singing, the Sufism or the Hindu fundamentalist compositions that the music exposed. Actually, I was learning khayal, which means it means a stream of thought. At a time around 12th, 13th century when Dhrupad was very popular, sacred, temple kind of music. One does not know whether it is Muhammad Shah Ramile or Amir Khusro, but who it is, but then they brought in this form of khayal. It's like a real rebellion, it came as a real rebellion, and initially people saw it as a degeneration, thinking, what is this? How can we sing about everyday life, and why should it be? We should be singing about God. So basically, during that time, there was this whole thing around what is sacred and pure devotional music, what is the music for entertainment, and what is the music for the mass. So devotional and sacred music was also sung by men and women, but women, the secondary kind of music. And it was actually in dance and in music they called it. So if you perform, if you are a dasi for God, then it is Devdasi. If you are a dasi for a Raja or a Zamindar or a Nawab or somebody like that, then you are Rajadasi. And then if you are a dasi of Amjanta, then you are Alankara dasi. So the person who performed for Amjanta is always seen as performing a lesser form of music. That which is not Shastriya and that which is not sacred. Now Shastriya always somehow related to being sacred because of the gods in it. And that was the time when khayal came in. They introduced khayal in such a manner that it just came sweeping, and people later it became everybody, part of everybody, because one, it started, this khayal composition started having realities about our lives. Like there would be mother-in-law, daughter-in-law fights, there would be lesbian realities, there would be patriarchal structures of finding a heroine and that performance of sadness and all that. And there several interesting things happened in khayal, which generally otherwise would happen in the name of God. Not that it wouldn't happen, but then here it was happening directly. So यहाँ पे it will not be Radha and Krishna or Shiva and somebody else, but it will be me and you. So thankfully, it was such a relief. And while learning, when I started learning, I was asked, what will you learn? So I said, I don't know, whatever you teach, because that we come from South India. What do we know about this whole thing? First of all, this language itself was very new to us. So a lot of times, several words, would sound really weird. And I still remember as a child when I was learning, there was one composition that I was Tere Sangi Door Bandhu or something. So I was thinking, why does somebody want to tie up a door around you? As in door, as in this door. Because we as South Indians did not know this language, so it was very. There are many such words. For many such words, and second thing is, my teacher was also quite a fun person, a humorous person. So what he would do is for a lot of composition, for a lot of words, we didn't want to give out, because I was young child and so on. So the first time he had explained to me what is Balam. So he said, there was this woman called Balama, and in short form she was called Balam. And I kind of believed it for quite some time. I think 2 years I believed it. Invariably, my compositions was all on Balam, and then I was thinking of Balama. There itself the clearness started. passed away 2-3 years ago, and fantastic composer. He's done several tunes and khayal and all that. He once it so happened that he sang Rag Jhinjhoti in some concert, and he sang a long alap in Rag Jhinjhoti. So then there was a review saying senior musicians like Pandit Dinkarji is like does not have this much range that they cannot sing a light raga so seriously. So that it was quite hurtful. So immediately after that he composed a composition which is very interesting. It's in Rag Tilakham. सब है समान आज गुणन में, सब है समान आज गुणन में, नहीं जानत नहीं मानत विद्या अविद्या के भेद, रसिक जन सब है समान आज गुणन में, साधक सुर साधे जुग बीतक, रसिक सुनत पल छिन में वकालत, साधक सुर साधे जुग बीतक, रसिक सुनत पल छिन में वकालत, वर्णन देत राग सुर लय को, बिना ज्ञान पावत मान, बिना ज्ञान पावत मान, असुरन में जो सूर न जाने, सब है समान आज गुणन में. So while there are compositions like this, there are also like when we at one time while learning, and I was like into making this whole thing not serious, because somehow I started feeling the burden of classical music and wanted to play around with it. So one day I kind of went and asked my teacher. I said, so basically this is much later. So when you say khayal, it means thought. So what if I sing Mama Dakshi? I said, do it. I said, but then, you mean to say I can sing it that way? I said, go ahead, do it. Let us sing. It has to work. It's like that. So it became a challenge. He said that tomorrow when you come, compose and bring it to me. Show it to me. So I also took it as a challenge, and then I composed this in Rag Adhaya Bilaval, Tilwada Tal. And next morning I sang it for half an hour for him. I don't think I should sing that.
Please do.
One for my master, one one for my master, one for the games, one for the little boy who lives on the lane. Baba, Baba, then I get into in terms of what happens when somebody from South India is trying to learn Hindustani music more seriously. That too not from a place like Hubli or Dharwad, but from a place like Bangalore. This is during 73, 74, 83, 84, 85 during that time. So before I could even realize my sexuality and my gender, my caste and religion was an issue. In our house, we're supposed to be Brahmins and we are supposed to learn Carnatic classical music. That too only for groom singing, not to sing seriously in your life. So, but then my mother put me into Hindustani music. Anyway, I had just begun to learn music and I was taught Rag Todi and I was taught this composition. Allah jaane mola jaane, Allah jaane mola jaane, Ali nabi ko noor baras gaye, jag mein dekh dekh ginwa, Allah jaane mola jaane, Allah jaane. And the other composition which I was taught is in the same raga. अब मोरी पाई अब मोरी नैया पार करो तुम हजरत निजामुद्दीन आलिया, अब मोरी नैया पार करो तुम हजरत निजामुद्दीन आलिया. So these were the two compositions I was taught, and then it was Ganesha festival. My grandmother, along with the other cousins, she dragged me. We were supposed to go and sing in each house. So my cousins kept singing initially, and then my chance came. I sang these two compositions. My grandmother was like, "I'll throw you out of the family. How can you sing Muslim music? You can't live in our house. You cannot do this." There was a huge fight between my mother and my grandmother. So, to continue this music was little difficult because they all misunderstood. And for the longest time, in fact, for quite a long time, they refused to come to my concerts. Because I started performing quite early, but then they stopped. They wouldn't come to my concerts because they wouldn't know what to come and say. So that's how immediately I realized what caste and religion was, why I was not allowed to sing this music, or why this music they felt was not pure. So, second layer, pureness. And growing up, I was also realizing my sexuality. So all my teachers, most of the men, but the first teacher was the one who gave me that kind of freedom to do what I want with this music. But rest of them were very emotional. all those things, and I feel it. So their demand was that you should always sing to Krishna. Then why? You don't feel like singing to Krishna. This is like, and all the compositions eventually here and there, somehow some Kanha comes, some Shyam will come. So it's like, ayo, how boring can it get kind of thing. So one of those early, this is when I was like 16, I tried changing it secretly, and then I was practicing. Unfortunately, I was practicing in my guru's house and got, and he really did. I thought he will scream and kill me there, but then he didn't. He kept laughing at me, thinking, how is it you are more in love with Radha? I'm like, it's not about Radha, it's just a woman, that's it. I couldn't tell it to him, that's it. So, this is the composition. The original composition is like this. कान्हा भर भर मारे पिचकारी, कान्हा भर भर मारे पिचकारी, काहे को जाने नहीं दे करे, बेगी चलो बेगी चलो आरे, बीच में ठाड़ो शाम देत सवन को राखन गारे, कान्हा भर भर मारे पिचकारी. Then I tried changing it like this. राधा भर भर मारी पिचकारी, राधा भर भर मारी पिचकारी, काहू को जाने नहीं दे तरी, बेगी चलो आली. Now this Ali, even now I have confusion because we don't know whether we can use it for a woman or not. Then I realized it's okay because it can be anything. बेगी चलो आली, बीच में ठाड़ो राधे देत सवन को राखन गारी, कान्हा भर भर मा. Sorry, that's how it was. So I mean, in between I would keep changing these things, and then I started seriously thinking, why can't it happen in that manner? Then I realized, actually there are such compositions, there are clear compositions, but nobody openly talks about it. The very first composition, it's a basic composition which almost everyone blindly sings, every ustad, every khasab, every pandit, every woman, every person sings it very happily without realizing what this whole composition is. It is in, again, Rag Miyaki Todi, and I'll sing it for you. ये बांट मतलब ये रास्ता दूबर भाई ओके वेरी डिफिकल्ट मैं का ये लंगूरवा this monkey Bharanana Devta Gagariya not allowing me to fetch a pot of water with my daily routine fetching pot of water is daily routine okay Vihana Tore Sage kaise jaun sajni so Vihana is for Bihar on a stroll how will I go with you sajni okay kaise jaun sajni बीच में ठाड़ो सदारन the composer himself like a monkey kuchakaya like a monkey okay we all kept singing assuming it's a love song between man and woman and then realized that oh my god what is this but then it's even now when I the guru that I'm studying now even when I went and asked her she said no it's not like that there's Krishna there that's Krishna it's okay with Krishna but then what is happening over there between these two women is something important and it's a beautiful way of singing also because on one hand the lyrical quality or lyrical meaning is this on the other hand the raga is like this raga is mostly used when people die so you can't but how do you evoke such emotions it's quite a challenge so what happens with khayal is it allows for certain speed so this particular composition is not sung in usually but different gharanas sing it in different ways but certain gharanas they don't sing this khayal in a very slow manner they particularly increase the speed so it will be like this then they will not go it will not be like that but
Love